Hey, what's going on, YouTube community? It's Ajax075 here with the final reveal for the 64 Pontiac GTO build, as well as a nice hate-filled rant about turd kits. This week, as I was wrapping up this build, I watched a video from Chevy Cheeseburger where he applauded the efforts of a fellow builder in the community, Ray1965. Ray1965 worked on a model of the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard, and if you haven't already subscribed to him or checked out his channel, by all means go and do so. He did a fantastic job putting that kit together, and the fantastic job he did is highlighted by the fact that the MPC model that he was working on is a great big pile of crap. He actually has a summary video on his final video of all the notations that he made over the course of the build as to the things he had to fix to actually get it to come out properly. And Chevy Cheeseburger was saying that that it's one of his top 5 turd builds for a kit. Then Ray, having seen that, asked the community at large what their turd builds were. And I'm doing this video on the wrap of the 64 Pontiac GTO, and it just so happens that this is one of those turd kits. So, with no further ado, let me get this box out of the way and let you see what I managed to do and how much I managed to polish this turd here. So, there we go. There is the final build on GTO here. Let me get the camera in place and I'll spin her around for you. Let you see it, and then we'll talk about all the trials and tribulations that I had trying to get this bad boy to go together. Now, it is box stock with the notable exception of these wheels. The wheels that you're seeing here are actually kit bashed from AMT's 49 Mercury build. These are the custom set of wheels that you get, and in a somewhat ironic twist, they actually managed to snap onto this kit with very minimal effort, which, you know, given the state of the rest of the kit, is quite comical because there were quite a bit of parts that required much effort to get them to cooperate. Let me crack the hood here. Let you see that that tri-power. Again, because with the exception of the wheels, this is box stock. The engine bay is somewhat detailed, but I don't have anything plumbed or wired. It's just set up the way it came out of the kit. And honestly, as I was going through this, tried to do as thorough a job as I could, but I did run out of steam a little bit because, you know, as I got into it, there were issues, and it was fighting me, and it was not a good time. I was really looking forward to wrapping it up and moving on to something that wasn't going to get on my nerves so much. But I'm glad that it came out and ended up looking as decent as it does. I was happy that I was able to come in and polish this turd. Let me move my light here a little bit. I'll take it off the pedestal and go through a couple of things that I had to deal with when I was working on this bad boy. So, bringing the box back. Grab the box real quick. See here, it says snaps together, which I guess, and then no glue required. That's a bunch of horseshit. There will definitely be glue required if you put this together. I mean, you could build it with no glue, but don't expect it to actually hold together. I guess they were on point with the molded in 3 colors, accurate detail, street or strip versions, which, okay, sure, fine, whatever. And then the colorful decal sheet. Yeah, talk about that real quick. As you can see here, I've got the decals on the kit. Those colorful decals only came in black for the badging, which made me super duper happy. The Pontiac badge, if I can get it to focus here, that didn't look half bad, but get that to focus for you, if it will focus. Yeah, the other decals, not the greatest. I know that the good folks at Monogram have a 64 GTO 2-in-1 kit, and from what I've heard and read about that particular kit, they say it's not as detailed as this one. Given the way this one fought me while I was trying to put it together, I'd probably recommend that over this as well. You know, the lack of detail aside, you can actually get it to go together in the box in a decent manner. So give me a second here. I'll grab the instructions and I'll point out some of the fun bits and pieces that that gave me pause as I put this pile together. All right, so starting from the top there, if you saw the other video I made, you saw here putting the block together that these particular pieces. Actually, let me get a pointer. Give me just a second. Like these particular pieces of the block didn't fit together so well. I actually ended up having to pull or cut the tabs that go on the block here because they, when you put it together, the block was actually crooked. It was a little crooked. So you had the seam in the transmission that was unsightly. Wasn't a fan of that. It was kind of lame. And then moving on, when I put the underbody and the frame together, the frame was actually slightly warped. In my other video, you can see that I've got glue points all over the underbody when I showed you the rolling chassis and everything, and that was entirely a necessity. I glued it together, and then I actually used a couple of clamps to hold it all in place as it glued to make sure that it held together properly. Down here, I had to do a bit of sanding on the shock towers and the coils to get all of the entry point holes to accept those pieces. And from what I'd read and heard from other builders who had worked with this kit, I've got a slight rake to mine. Apparently, there's a much greater rake if you don't hollow those areas out because they don't mesh quite well. That was unfortunate. Moving on, give me a second here. Flip this bad boy over. Yeah, no, super exciting here. Yeah, the interior wasn't necessarily warped, but I did have fitment issues. The seats, I had to sand out the bottom as well as the tabs on the seats to actually get them to go in. Otherwise, I probably would have ended up breaking the plastic down here to get the seats to go in properly. The firewall and the dash, the tabs that connect those, didn't fit. So I had to sand the tabs on the firewall and use a number 11 to hollow out this area a little bit to actually get these two pieces to mate properly. And then the final assembly here, you'll see that it just shows like your body, your interior, and then your chassis like all go together, and hooray, you have a model kit at the bottom. No, not quite actually. If you followed these instructions up here and you put the nose and the grill on the car and then try to mate it together, you were going to have a bad time. I had a bad time because I, like an idiot, followed these instructions thinking that the good folks at Round 2 wouldn't steer me wrong. You'll see this piece right here on the chassis. Well, that is actually a tab that fits in the back of the bumper. Give me a second here. I will flip the car over and I'll let you see if the light will pick it up here. Adjust my stuff. Yeah. Here we go. Like right in there. That tab fits in the bumper. And if you put everything together following these instructions and you try to force that tab to go into that bumper after it's on the front and it's got like the little tiny bits and pieces, you are going to either break this bumper or you're going to break the tab, or worse, Like, in short, if you follow these instructions to the letter, you're going to have a bad time. And nobody wants to have a bad time when they're building, do they? Anyhow, yeah, it was pretty nifty. I'm glad it managed to come together as nice as it did, but it was a bit of a turd. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say as far as the kit goes. Oh wait, actually, yeah, these wheels that I took from the 49 Merc kit. Part of the reason I took them from the 49 Merc kit, if you watched my other video about this, you'll know that I had the stock wire wheels on this. Yeah. Turns out the stock wire wheels are a bit too wide when inserted inside the tires, and they make the tires bow out. Just one more thing to look out for when you're working on this Butte. These moon hubcaps from the 49, actually they work pretty decent. So yeah, like I said, the array, this particular kit, yeah, it's a turd. It is not like one of the worst turds out there as far as kits go. I mean, there's still AMT's or MPC's 72 GTO, which is awful, and then the granddaddy, at least for me, would be Revell's 57 Chevy hardtop, not the monogram one, and not the Bel Air 2-in-1 kit that they recently released, but the one that's currently released as the Ed Roth 57 Chevy and has had previous iterations. That's the one that features the alleged opening trunk, doors, and hood. If you've ever run into that kit and you've ever tried to put it together, you know that it is practically unbuildable. It is it's one of the worst. And so this, while being a pain in the butt, wasn't anywhere near as bad as that. However, I will say that on the back of this box here, the good folks at Round 2 claim that this is a skill level 2 kit for ages 10 and up. I certainly wouldn't give this to a 10-year-old if I was trying to get them interested in the hobby, or if they showed any interest in the hobby whatsoever and they said, hey, like, I'd like to build a kit, I'd like to build something that's a little bit more than just a curbside. What do you think about the 64 Pontiac GTO? I'd say, what do you think about not ever touching that kit, because it's kind of sort of horrible. Yeah, kind of sort of horrible. Anyhow, I am glad that there we go. I'm glad that the final iteration of the kit came out decent, but yeah, I certainly can't recommend this one to anybody in good conscience. I said it before, the monogram people have the 24 scale 2-in-1 kit that they've got out there, and honestly, from what I've seen of the two, put this down here like this, if you look at this kit and then you go look at a 1-to-1 version of the 64 Pontiac, you'll see that the people that put this one together may or may not have fudged some of the dimensions a little bit. I mean, it looks good, but versus the 1-1, I'm like, yeah. So maybe the folks at Monogram have something a little bit better on deck for you. Who's to say? Anyhow, so yeah, this one's in the books, and this one's going back in the box. And to give you a quick look at what I'm working on next, I've actually got this kit left to build, the 41 Chevy pickup. It's actually sitting in my purple pond right now. I had painted it before. It was going to be black and green, and I wasn't satisfied with the color combination, nor did I like the way the black laid down on those fenders. So it's been in the purple pond for a while now. This weekend will see me going in and cleaning up the last remnants of paint on it and starting anew on the paint job. Not 100% certain of the color combo that I'm going with. I was thinking of doing a a metallic orange, the one coat lacquer orange, and the one coat lacquer root beer brown, but I'm not sure if I'm sold on that. Either way, once I get it cleaned up, I will make a final decision, move on from there, and of course I will put together a video for you guys to let you see what the 41's looking like. But yeah, for Chevy Cheeseburger and Ray, wanted to know about turd kits. That right there, yeah, she was one. So there you go. And fellas, everybody out there still building everything, please by all means keep up the good work. Love watching the videos. Love the inspiration. If you're just tuning in, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm going to try and put more content out there, give you guys more builds. Who knows? Maybe even give you more rants if I run into another crap kit or two. I know that there's the next month there's the rat rod build coming up, and I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I'm going to be building the 29 Ford or if I'm going to go with the Deuce. I'll figure it out sometime between now and then, but I suppose it's neither here nor there for the time being, since this bad boy is going to be getting all of my attention moving forward. All right, so like I said, you guys keep up the good work, and I'll shoot out another video at you soon. All right, you guys take care.